Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Nick, and in this video we're actually going to go to all locations from the first installment of the Fast and the Furious franchise. I'm talking of course about the first movie they came out in 2001. I was able to find around 13 locations plus minus, and in today's video I decided to show you guys all of them in one video. I'm pretty sure you guys out there might be interested in knowing. Some of you might still are interested in knowing this stuff, especially if you're into cars and movies like those. Need for Speed would be a good other example to say so. And there's few others, of course. But without further ado introduction, let me get the list. Let me find the list. Here it is. The first one's gonna be Track Jack No 1, referring, of course, to the place where the first hijack took place, where we got introduced to the neon green. What were those for cars? I actually forgot. Type R's, Honda Type R's or something, I believe. Yeah. Brian's training. We of course talking about the Dodger Stadium from LA. Toretto's Market, Racer Edge, Brian's first race when he first raced against Dom and he lost, but he was so confident he's gonna win. And the rest, of course, that I was able to find. These, in fact, are not all the locations. I'm pretty sure that if I want, I could find at least one or two more. But these are, in fact, all the locations that got a racing scene. They got something very meaningful. They got at least a car skidding away or something like that. That's why they're here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Alright, so I got around 13. Now 14, but pretty much the same. So 14, 13 plus minus. It's pretty close. So the first place where we're actually going to be heading is going to be here, if you guys know. There's a scene in the movie with a truck. It's of course a yellow truck. The truck in this case is gonna be starting somewhere from here. And this is a good example because in real life, this took place on such a road like this one right here. And then it had a turn. Alright, it was like sort of a bridge and it took a turn. They're of course getting out the docks, not back in. But since this is the closest thing to it, real life, this is what we're gonna do. And this is a good starting point because this area here is both docks, to be exact, loading docks, loading bays, and so on, and stacking up kind of storage spaces, if you want to call them, or I don't know, storage areas. I'm not pretty confident about all that, but regardless. So we're gonna start from here and go all the way like this, and we're gonna end up here if we get on this road, and there's a bridge up here. It's gonna get to some tax booth or something. I know it's cool, but I hope you get a point. So let's get started. Alright, so the trucks were actually supposed to start somewhere from here. Let me just get a more meaningful car for this. Oh. Alright, we got the car. Alright, this is the car. This is even a license plate from the real life Type R they used. I'm not pretty sure about the color. I don't know what's going on with the color on this thing. Okay, now it's better. Alright, so this is the car. This is what a car used to look like. I'm not gonna make it nighttime so you guys can actually see something from what I'm showing you. So this is supposed to be the place where everything started because it got the docks and stuff, you know, like those cranes made especially for this kind of thing. The truck got loaded. It had like Rogers, I think it was. Yeah, Rogers. I'm not pretty sure how to pronounce, but I'm not that sure how to pronounce it. Right on the side, and if I remember correctly, the truck was heading out the docks, and the guy was actually closing the doors, the back doors, on the truck after a quick check. Was in fact radio chatting with Dominic, or at least someone from his crew, to tell him about all this. So they went up here. Let me take care of that. Okay, so the truck should have gotten up here if it was in game. Should have made a right here, and about this point the Civic should have intercepted the truck already. And all the way down this road, right before the bridge is actually supposed to show up, right here, this would be a good reference point, they actually took control of the truck, because in the movie, after the turn I'm telling you about, they kind of end up on a straight road, which is get close to what I'm seeing right here, and they had that like sort of a construction zone in front of them, and they were actually supposed to go left, right, and even underneath the truck, if you guys remember. That was a cool stunt, something even to this day I still consider to be one of the best. And if you guys don't know this, the stunt was real. In the first installment of a franchise, Fast and the Furious, the car that was actually going underneath the truck was for real, was a real stunt. What you guys also need to know is the truck was lifted, so that way the car can fit underneath. This is gonna be pretty much it for first scene, but before getting to the next one, I also wanna tell you guys about someone that you should guys check on YouTube if you like Fast and Furious stuff. His name is Craig Liberman. Craig Liberman, he has a YouTube channel. He's been pretty much involved in the production of the first movie and the second one, Cars wise. He's actually also the guy you can see if you're looking closely and carefully enough at Race Wars when Letty is racing against the guy with the white what's the name of the car? I forgot. Oh yeah, RX-7, the white RX-7, and you can also see them when Johnny Tran is racing against what's the name of that dude? Jesse. Yeah, Johnny Tran is racing against Jesse. Johnny Tran got his S2K, and Jesse got his father's Jetta, Volkswagen Jetta. All right. So this is going to be it for the first. Oh shit! This is gonna be it for the first scene. The next one that we got on the list is pretty much actually not that close. The second one is Brian's training, because I actually put them in a chronological order. Chronological world. What am I saying sometimes, man? What am I saying? Alright, so I put them in a chronological order, and the point of this is to actually align them with the movie, to get them in the right order. If you guys remember, after the hijacking, the skyline actually moved from midnight to early morning or something, and that's where Brian was actually training and was testing his car right before going to Harry's, right? I think that was it. Yeah. Okay. And this is it. The theater. This is supposed to be like the closest thing to the Dodger Stadium. Okay. And I'm saying this because the Dodger Stadium is a very open and big area of a place with a parking lot that's just as huge as you can imagine. And this is like the closest thing. We got a theater. Here are the benches we're supposed to sit. Here's the theater. We're gonna call this the stadium in this case. And this right here is the parking lot. It aligns perfectly, well, as perfect as it can align, in fact, in a GTA game. With the fact that, as you guys can see, the theater is somewhere located right in the back of the city. It's pretty close to the city as well. And this is exactly where the stadium is actually in real life. It's supposed to be up on a hill, and it's supposed to be sort of a cavity, I don't know what to call it actually. Sort of a hidden place. Again, why am I saying sometimes? Okay. So this is where it's supposed to be theoretically in real life. This is the closest thing to it. It's supposed to be somewhere hidden between some hills. And the parking lot once again is huge. I'm actually going to put some pictures from the real life one, so you guys can see better what I'm talking about. And we're not done yet, because this right here is just the first bit. If you guys remember, after Brian was actually trying his best to drive the car as fast as possible, he kind of ended up swerving or something, trying to break through anything or something. I can't remember that well. And when he did so, he ended up spinning out, and he was just about to crash and to get off the cliff, the mountain, whatever it was, the hill. He was like very close to hit the barrier. And that location unfortunately is not here because we don't have something like that in here. but we do have it somewhere else because for some reason it's split into two. But also because it's the only place that actually got this view. It's the only place that got this view, and it's the only place where you can actually have sort of a parking lot, you know? This is actually a parking lot. If I remember correctly, his car... Actually, I have his car, right? I think I have it. Wait, let me find it. Alright, so here we are. I got a car. And it was spinning, and his car ended up facing this way. And then we had a look of this. And then the next thing we know is that we ended up at Dom's Market, if I'm not wrong, right? Let's see. Yeah, the Reto's Market, not Dom's Market. The Reto's Market, pretty much the same. Okay, so let's get a car and head over there. So once again, we had the Dodger Stadium, which is actually supposed to be represented by this right here, by this theater, because like the closest thing that's actually big enough. That I also got like a big enough parking lot to match it. And where we are right now, which is up here, is in fact supposed to be like the very ending of the scene where he was just about to crash and get off the hill of the parking lot. So yeah, they kind of connected, but at the same time separated in the world of GTA. And here we have it, BJ's Market. It's a reference to Bob's Market in real life, that's the real name, and of course to the GTA version of it, which is supposed to be Toretto's Market. This is also very close to his house, by the way, which is why we're here, because this is one of those things that not so many might know. Oh, good, I hate traffic. This is the actual house from the movie. Okay, maybe she's going crazy. This is the actual house from the movie. This right here. Now you cannot get in the back. But this is supposed to be, this is where the barbecue was supposed to take place. This is what is actually wanted to be believed to be looking like a pretty credible garage. This is the house. This is what a house looks like. Not the most accurate one, but is the most accurate one for a GTA game, in GTA 5 to be exact. So this is where it is, and it's super close, like literally behind the market. It's super close to the market. It's just behind it. It's literally one street away from the market. Okay, the next location is going to be Razor's Edge. Razor's Edge. Okay, the Razor's Edge, if you guys remember, is the place where Brian used to work. It's the place where Brian used to go to get work, to get paid and stuff, as his undercover, to say so, because he was of course an undercover officer, a cop. Exactly the kind of thing Dominic and his crew was actually trying to avoid and run away from. But things didn't work as planned. And as we know, Dominic and Brian were good friends. Not after the first movie, but of course between the fourth, and so they became really close, both real life and on screen. I don't know if they were super close when it came to the first. I know they were somewhat, to say so. And this is it. This is the Razor's Edge version of GTA 5 and GTA 5 Online, because like it exists in GTA 5 Online as well. It's pretty much the same map. Los Santos #1 Muffler Man. Okay, brakes, services, shocks, mufflers, tires, tune-ups. So it's a tune-up shop, auto service. And what I'm saying is that it's super close to real life one, because I actually tried to align this. The thing is, with some of these locations, you cannot really find them on the internet. I haven't seen someone to talk about the stadium, to be honest, on the internet, or someone to be 100% accurate about the house, or someone to actually have a connection between the stadium that I showed you guys and that little thing right there with the skyline of the city and so. Right here is the shop and in real life it's actually also supposed to be somewhere close to this area. It's actually supposed to be pretty close to this right here, which is the golf course. In real life this is double if not triple in size, and this was actually one of the things that I kind of based my reference on, because it was kind of hard for me to figure out where it can be, because even though you do know the location in real life, you have to think about the fact that there's like at this point like 20 plus years in between those movies, so things changed. Of course, not the location but the surroundings, and they changed enough in real life for this not to match as as easily. So yeah, this is the place. This is what it looks like. It's a pretty close reference to me. Maybe even this man right here is a close enough reference, but I'm not able to catch it. I don't know. Alright, so this is Harry's place. The next one on the list we have Brian's first race, the place where the first place was actually happening, and was happening in this car right here. This is what Brian used to drive. Ouch. Before we get there, I'm gonna try to select the car and the drive at the same time. Very risky, don't recommend. Okay. Alright, here we are. If you guys remember, it used to be sort of an industrial area, or at least that was the place where they used to meet up. Then they were actually going to a different location for the race. But since this is the only stretch that actually does count, because it's long enough and it actually got the right surroundings to say so, I'm gonna use this for both. I'm gonna say maybe behind one of those buildings used to be the meetup, and this is actually the main road is actually put to the close thing to the race, to where the race took place. And the race was quite long. It was way longer than a quarter-mile race, to say so, even though it was supposed to be a quarter-mile race. The race started somewhere from here. Brian used to be not on the right but on the left. Actually, let me fix that to make it look a bit better. Alright, so there were supposed to be 4 cars in line. Brian used to be on the left. When the race started, they all taking off. Well, taking off. You know what I mean? They're racing all the way down here. And above here is the place where they were stopping. They were supposed to talk about the cars, where Brian got asked, "What you smiling at?" And his response was, "I almost had you." Yeah, those things. After the race, there used to be that thing where they got chased, right? I also got that one. So got that one. It's not 100% accurate, but let's see. They were supposed to race, and I was thinking after they raced, they kind of tried to hide, right? So the closest thing to that, since they were still somewhere in the industrial area, they were going like this. They were pretty much going like this. All the way over here. All the way over here. All the way over here. And something like this. I'm gonna try 2 different routes for this one, because it can actually be both, in my opinion. It's just about how much detail. Okay, so something around here. I kind of tried to lose them over here, and then they made the mistake to maybe get into Johnny Tran's area, where his crew intercepted the Nissan. Was it a Nissan? No, the Mitsubishi Eclipse. My bad. Not a Nissan, a Mitsubishi Eclipse. Okay. So maybe to over here, maybe something like this. I would be straight down the road from the hills to here. It went like this. It went like this. Okay, so this is the first I've been thinking of. And the second one would be once again, they go like this, they go all the way over here. Okay, then they go down. They decide to go down. They decide to go down. What's over here? Was the other one? Nah, over here. Okay, they decide to go like this. And like this. But I'm pretty sure the other one is a bit more accurate. Because if they were to go like this, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, the other one wouldn't have been wrong, but would have been way too close, I would say. Let's try it. For the sake of this video, let's try it. Alright, so let's see. We can go like this. What I'm trying to do right now, if you didn't get it, is like to think of different alternatives of how Dom and Brian were actually supposed to go down the road and pretty much intersect with Johnny Trent and his crew, and how they actually managed to intercept the skyline. So this right here would be the third possibility, the third option. Nice. I think this is the most plausible one, even though it doesn't start as good. And they're maybe driving down the road this way. I think they got in the way of some. Yeah, okay. Over here a little, and if you guys remember, they actually ended up going to some Chinese place. I forgot the name of that. Actually, wait, let me look up because I have it. Westmeister, yeah, that's the place, I believe. Okay, so this is the Chinese thing I'm talking about. And there's another Chinese place around here. Right from the top of my head, I can't remember where it is, but this is the closest one I would say to the real thing, because it's all Chinese from the beginning to the end. It's close to a road, and it has a big enough parking lot to at least mimic the scene from the movie. So once again, the race took place over here. Then they get over here. It started around here somewhere. It actually ended up around here. After Leon was actually telling them what's up with the cops, they actually got in their cars. They got away. They actually used a route similar to either this, or this, which are all supposed to kind of get about this roads and end up where I am right now, in this Chinese district, I'm gonna call it for the sake of this video. Let me change my car real quick. By the way, this is also a car from the first movie. It's the car from the race wars, the car that raced against Letty, if you guys remember that. And the next location on our list is gonna to be Cha Cha Cha. We already went to Toretto's house, so next one's gonna be Cha Cha Cha. Because after this incident, they went to Toretto's house, to Dom's house, where Dom used to live, whatever you would like to call it, to name it. Oh shit. Oh, and by the way, if you guys can make out my place, why am I saying place? Nah, I ain't good, man. I'm ill. I'm a sick motherfucker. Alright, so if you guys can make out my plate, they'll be awesome. It's a pretty obvious reference. Double R8 C3 WR6. It's a pretty close reference. Oh boy. Nice. I was about to say I'm a pro driver, but no more. Okay, so we're going from the house. I'm just trying to mimic that. So we're going down the road from the house. Maybe we would have taken that road instead of the one I just got onto, but still. And since Cha 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 was Mexican, and this is a Mexican place or district, a Mexican Mexican district. I don't know. This is where they went, I would say. I remember it wasn't far from the house because it was supposed to be a date, so you ain't going far for this date. This right here is all Chinese. You guys can see over here, and over here, and over there. Oh, and by the way, even though I'm playing story mode, I'm playing with an online version of a character. So yeah. So this is Cha Cha Chow. I'm also gonna put some pictures of it from real life. By the way, this place does not exist anymore in real life, unfortunately. It got demolished, if I remember correctly. The next place is gonna be Supra versus Ferrari, because after this, I actually forgot how they went from Cha 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 to that, because there's a lot in between. They just cut between this stuff because it was just not going to match in game. It wasn't available. So I remember that after Brian and Dom had a discussion. No, that was actually after, never mind. I remember that Brian and Dom just finished tuning the Supra and stuff, and they went for a drive. And they found themselves racing a Ferrari, and that was supposed to be right here. They stopped here-ish. I'm saying this is the place because you got the road on that side. You also got one on that side, even though it was pretty asphalt, if it was supposed to 100% match the real life version of it, but still. And now in fact the racing all the way from there to the restaurant. This place also matched because there were a bit of hills and hops on the road. So yeah. And they raced all the way to this place, the restaurant, the famous restaurant. Now in game, you don't really have a parking lot right in front of the restaurant like in the movie. You have one on the side. So let me park up real quick and get out of the car. This is where they were supposed to be eaten, somewhere around this area. And this is where Brian got officially introduced to what was called the race wars. Yeah. 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 Okay, next on our list, it's going to be Race Wars itself. Alright, the Race Wars is actually, if you guys believe it or not, pretty obvious. Race Wars was supposed to be somewhere in the desert and was supposed to be on an airport. At least that's what the movie was letting us believe, if you think about it. Was a wide open area. It had gates and everything. It was a closed area, so it was a controlled environment. It wasn't just chaotic and stuff. It was pretty legal, I would say. There was the legal part of Toretto's business and activity. You know, I could teleport, but I just want to drive for some reason. Not really for everyone. Right over here. Brian was in fact supposed to get checked over here, was welcomed to Race Wars. He got a number. In this area right here, both airport and sand was in fact supposed to be the place where cars were sitting. And this drag strip, what was left of it, was actually supposed to be the place where the drag races were happening. The airstrip was a drag strip, regardless. They were supposed to turn after the race was over. I remember that from Jesse. Okay, and get all the way back. And that's why the place where you get checked and everything, and so was supposed to be somewhat divided around here. I also got a bit of time. I got the time yesterday, in fact, and I was playing around with some props. I set it up the GTA 5 online the GTA 5 story mode, whatever you like to call it, a version of the race wars. I'm gonna get those videos if I still have them and they're not corrupted for some dumb reason on display, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But that's pretty much it. If we were to mimic it, it's pretty easy. You get over here. And race and race and race, and you keep racing all the way to the end of the strip. And you slow down, you take 2 turns to the left, you put your foot on the gas, and you keep going, and oh, time to turn. Yeah. And you have the options. You get back to the pits, to say so, to the place where the other cars are located, or back to the drag strip. And with this divided in 2, you'd have the cars getting checked over here. They get inside, they move over to this side, so that way you can have this part of the strip like divided in 2. And they get over here and they can hang out with the other dudes. Or people in general. Not just dudes. Gals too. Alright. This is the drag strip. This is where it took place. This is the most accurate because it's the only strip that actually has enough space, enough room for all of this. It's the only one that's in the middle of the desert, and it got asphalt on it, so yeah. Then the truck jack number 2 refers, of course, to the second hijack. The second hijack took place around this particular area, around this. And that's because even though Brian had to find them because they were far away, this is the closest thing because it has a silos big enough, just like the one from the movie. It's the only place that actually has highway that's matching, and it's the only place that actually makes sense for them to go from the race course in the middle of the night when Mia was actually crying, and when Brian was actually showing his true colors, to say so. And Brian was telling them what's up with him, blowing his cover away. So let's get over there, but for that one let's change cars. Let's get Dom's. I was supposed to say Dom's Supra. Let's get Dom's RX-7. And by the way, the cars I'm driving are as one of one as possible. I even got the seats to match the color and the model. Okay, so I'm gonna get you guys to where these Civics were supposed to be hidden. Alright, so these are the Salas that I'm talking about. The cars were supposed to be hidden somewhere around here, close to the Salas. You can hide them around here. This would be the most accurate thing, to have them hidden here. Or if you want to make it easier, just around this area in particular. So, they took the Civics. They got on the road and right after a truck. They went right after the truck. I'm going the wrong way. Alright, so they were supposed to be going this way, in fact. They were supposed to be going up here. Now, of course, this is based on a game, what I'm showing you guys, so it's not 100% in there to say, so it's not 100% happening the same way, but still. So, either they just got in their cars, they went after a truck. I'm still going to show you guys what I think actually happened because it makes more sense from a GTA point of view, a GTA 5 point of view. So they got in their cars, they got over here, and they were actually making a right. Because the truck was coming this way, was actually going all the way over here, minding his own goddamn business, going down the road. And then we had the Civics. Going right after it this way. Yeah, I'm going right this way. They're going this way, and they were supposed to get in a lot of trouble with the trucks. So yeah. Okay. And you can say it all ended around this area. Alright. Next one, I guess. Which is also the fun one. After this incident, as most of you know, Brian blew his cover. Dom knew it up. Mia was actually getting with Dom at that point, even though she was kind of interested in kind of being there with Brian. And Dom, Letty, Leon were out. Brian was actually going to kind of catch Dom in some way. Actually got to the point where they both kind of worked together one last time because of Jesse and because of the guys who just killed him. They managed to get rid of Johnny Tran. I don't know if he died or not because that's not shown, but still. And they're racing. There was a very last race that took place between Dominic and Brian. The actual race took place around the docks, both in movie and in game. That is. Okay, let me teleport right there over. Alright, and now it would be nice if I could find Dom's Dodge for this one. Oh, there we have it. Perfect. Now the plate on this car unfortunately is just a random one, but they don't matter. Alright, so they're having their cars at a traffic light, but there is no traffic light, so I'm just gonna get it over here. Because it's a accurate enough distance to say so, or maybe if you really want to make it accurate, maybe we should get the cars to start from here. Okay, so the cars were somewhere over here. They were racing. And train was approaching. They got away with that. And then a truck hit Dom. He got turned sideways. He ended up crashing with his car facing this way like this, I believe. Brian gave him his Supra. And right after that, Brian was actually looking the opposite way. I don't know how to call it actually. Was looking towards the sunset, was looking against it, I don't know. Well, the point is, Brian was looking the other way from where Toretto was, and was slowly walking away from the scene. And that's how the movie ends, pretty much. That's how the movie ends. That was pretty much it for this video. In fact, I hope you guys liked it. I sure did. It was fun recording this and coming up with this kind of video. I also want to tell you guys that this is a lot of research that went into this to find all the locations, to put them all together, to figure out routes and stuff, to make them sound and look plausible. So if you guys like the video, this is the only video in which I'm actually asking you guys to like it. So if you guys like the video, don't forget to drop a like. If you didn't, not a problem. Liking the video is of course up to you at the end of the day. I cannot force anyone to do anything. I'm not even trying to or imply that I should. So I'll see you guys next one and wish you all the best. Take care of you all. Bye bye.